Welcome to the Mindful Spark. My name's Dave, and in this video we'll be covering the science from week 5 of the Reclaim Your Past, Reset Your Future series. This week is called Change Your Past to Free Your Future. And as we learned in the Mindful story, often we can get trapped into a way of thinking or believing that life is a certain way, and that can lead us down a path. It affects how we think and it affects our behavior. And I suppose the science in this, in week 1, I talked about the hand model of the brain, how the palm is split into two, the fight and flight and the rest and digest. Then there's the memory and there's the emotional center, and then there's the thinking center. So this is the reptilian part of the brain first developed. Then there's the mammalian brain that was developed, and then the ape or human brain. Now, what happens is there's a part here that picks up the sensations from our eyes, ears, smells, taste, touch. So all our senses go through a thing called the thalamus. And what it does is it then determines to the hypothalamus which channel the thought goes, the response happens from. For many of us, we've experienced where we're running down a trail or cycling and suddenly you jump to the left, or you jump away and you look back and you went, oh, there was a stick on the path, but it was in the shape of a snake. And that's an evolutionary development. So if we had to go into this slower thinking part, so the information comes up and it goes in and it comes round to the thinking part, that's much slower. So if we were going, oh, I wonder if that's a snake, is it, boom, it could be too late. So the brain is developed to trigger and to fire into this more amygdala, the fear center, to react and then think about it afterwards. And in everyday life, we can find ourselves getting into that scenario. So the more anxious we are, the more stressed we are, the more exhausted we are, the more we're likely to go down this channel into the fear center, the amygdala. And the more we do this, as we've learned in some of the other science episodes, that neurons that fire together wire together, that the more we have a type of thinking, the brain will allocate more resources to that thinking and make it easier for us to think that way. And what we want to do is make sure that we're in this nuanced thinking part as much as possible. In Buddhist and Taoist terms, they might use a word called aversion. So in psychological terms, it's avoidance. So moving away from something that's uncomfortable. And when we can learn to have the courage to face our fears, to sit with those unpleasant feelings, recognize those uncomfortable thoughts that we're having, and see them for what they are, that's what gives us the capacity to start letting them go. So in mindfulness terms, they talk about maybe leaning into that discomfort a little bit and becoming familiar with it. And we all often have it, but the only way it's going to come out is when we face it and deal with it. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you.